Hey guys, RPM here. Hope you're doing well, having a really great day. In this video, I just unpacked a Bitmain Antminer S19 XP. And this was sent by Crypto Miner Bros as a secret package. Did not know they were going to send me a S19 XP. I had to look up what the heck an S19 XP means, and apparently this does 140 terahash at about 3010 watts. Some of you guys have been probably watching my videos recently, and I've been troubleshooting a Bitmain S19J Pro. And just a quick update, it is working, okay? It's still working after about a day and 2 hours and 49 minutes. Actually, let me refresh this just so you guys think I'm not lying. A day, 2 hours and 56 minutes, okay? Still mining, no problem. Let me show you guys the temperatures, okay? It says 61, 60, 61 inlet. The outlet temp is about 80, 80, and 80, okay? Degrees Celsius. So, seems like it's working. Hasn't shut off yet, okay, knock on wood, but yeah, it seems to be fine. And I did source a new control board. I may be getting one from CryptoMinerBros.com, who sent me this S19 XP. I'm extremely grateful. Thank you guys so much for sending this to me. I guess, guys, we're gonna play around with this and see what it does, and I'm also gonna open it up just a little bit. So before we do all that, thank you to today's video sponsor, NerdGears.com. If you guys are looking for graphics cards, or notably, they just got in stock 30 amp 240 volt metered PDUs, power distribution units. They actually just got these in stock again. If you guys are interested, link down below, as well as graphics cards. They have a lot in stock here, and it looks like the prices have been coming down as well. According to the crypto mining profitability, market conditions, all that good stuff. They accept crypto and credit card as payment, guys. Link down below to nerdgears.com. Control board, AM Logic. Okay, so I just took out the screw in the back here. I want to see what is inside. As I recently took apart the S19J Pro, I wanted to see what this control board looks like. And it looks like this one doesn't have a black, like a double deck board, unlike the S19J. So it looks like it's just a standard single board here. Not too bad. Seems to be pretty cool. I don't see like a SD card slot inside, so I think it's on the front here. And no, that looks like a micro B USB port. It doesn't look like USB-C. It looks like a USB micro. Interesting. Interesting. And actually, I think I'm wrong. This is actually a 141 terahash model, S19 XP. And for anyone wondering, this mines Bitcoin or SHA-256 algorithm. Of course, there are other SHA-256 algorithms out there. It can mine, I think, Bitcoin Cash, Digibyte, I believe, and some other SHA-256 algorithm coins. But judging by the size of this, just to review, it's the exact same size as an S19J Pro. Just to do a comparison here for you guys. Yeah, it's the exact same. Ethernet port, IP report button, and then a little pinhole for the reset button if you want to do a manual reset. Fault and normal light indicators, very similar to the S19J, but minus the USB micro port that is here. I'm gonna assume that's for some sort of, I don't know, firmware update, because I don't see mini SD card slot in here anywhere. Maybe it's underneath. I'm not quite sure. I'm not going to go to that extent. I'm not going to take that apart. Just looking at the back here, here are the, I believe these are the bus bars, very similar to the S19J. Looks like there's only 3 hash boards. And so I'm assuming that these hash boards are a lot more dense than the S19J. Don't quote me on that. That's just what I'm just speculating on, because this obviously does 141 terahash at like 3000 watts versus the S19J Pro that does 104 terahash at about the same power consumption as well, maybe 3250. Yeah, so looks like this one is a lot more efficient, obviously, than the S19J Pro. So guys, let's go ahead. Let me turn this thing on, and actually, you know what? I'm not gonna turn it on here because I wanna get the exact power consumption that this guy is doing. I don't want to disturb my S19J because it's on its own 240 volt 30 amp plug right now. And actually, well, it's taking about 33, 74, 75 watts. Wow, that's a lot more power than what it was taking before. I'm assuming maybe the fans are being used a lot more. Yeah, I think the advertised power consumption for this S19j Pro is 3250, but it says 3375 now. Anyways guys, I'm gonna bring the S19 XP down to my basement and I'm gonna plug that into its own 240 volt 30 amp power plug essentially, so that we can get the exact power consumption that this guy is using. So I'll see you guys in the basement. Alright, it's all plugged in, already running. I got my address already mining to Antpool, and here is how much power this S19 XP is using. Alright, at 238 volt, 13.4 amps roughly. If we did the math, we times those two numbers together, it's about 3,189 watts that this one for me is currently using. So it is advertised at 3,010 watts. But I'm gonna say, I think the fans are running at 100% fan right now. And I guess depending on if, you know, which voltage you're running, it could be using more power or not. So yeah, take that with a grain of salt, but around there. All right guys, so I wanna go into the computer and I wanna talk about profitability of this S19 XP at the current state of mining Bitcoin right now. And I want to talk about if you should buy one of these or not. So let's go through that. I'll see you guys in the computer. Alright guys, so I am in the web GUI for the S19 XP. Just to quickly show you here, I've been mining it now for about 4 hours and 36 minutes. On the pool side, I verified it does show around there 146 terahash, 140 terahash on I'm mining to Antpool right now, antpool.com. And yeah, it seems to be doing well. Here's my S19j. Okay, 104 terahash. Obviously the 24-hour hash rate says 107, so it looks like it's been fluctuating a bit. But I'm going to assume the 24-hour hash rate for the S19 XP is going to be around 140, 146 terahash. So that's all well and good. You guys can see the temperatures for this. Not bad, pretty good. Okay, I want to go through, I guess, essentially the profitability of the S19 XP, okay? So if I go to asicminervalue.com, type in S19, and we can see here, there are a lot of other S19 models. Okay, and looking at the top one here, S19 XP, which is the one we are reviewing, it looks like it's the most profitable S19 model here at $5.46 at my current electrical rate, which is 0.08 per kilowatt hour. Now, I know everyone doesn't have this, but in ASIC Miner Value at the very bottom of their website, you can change it. So let's do, I don't know, 12 cents per kilowatt hour. Maybe this would be the national average. I'm not quite sure. But at 12 cents per kilowatt hour, this S19 XP would then be about $2.57. But mind you, for those that are watching this video, just a disclaimer, okay, it's about September 28th of 2022 as of recording. Profitability changes all the time, dependent on the price of Bitcoin, also depends on the network difficulty, how much hash rate is on Bitcoin right now. It looks like the Bitcoin network hash rate has been dropping a little bit, but I'm guessing that's due to the current market conditions and, you know, economy, recession talks, you know, CPI numbers, all that stuff. You know, depending on if you're an industrial miner, if you can handle the expenses and keep on mining, you know, Bitcoin mining, you know, it takes a lot of power, right? But looking at the Bitcoin price right now, as of recording, is about around 20,000, right? 19,000, 20,000. And so imagine, you know, if you were to buy one of these right now. So let me get into the, you know, the price of this Antminer S19 XP on cryptominerbros.com, which thank you again. They sent this to me. You can see here, the price of it is $6,699 right now. So for example, let's just say, you know, the profitability of, you know, mining changes all the time. I just want to stress that. But just an example, right now, you were to mine this at the current, you know, network difficulty, profitability right now, you would mine about $4,000 a year. Again, that changes all the time. But imagine if you hodled that Bitcoin, and the current price of Bitcoin right now is, like I said, about 20,000. So imagine if Bitcoin went up to 40,000 and you hodled all of that Bitcoin you just mined, that 4,000 would be worth now $8,000. Of course, you have to equate the electrical cost as well. So, you know, $6,600, $6,700, and then, you know, $8,000 if Bitcoin went up eventually. You know, if you're thinking about the long term, you could win out eventually. You could, you know, eventually get your ROI or break even. But that's assuming if you hodled the Bitcoin up until the next price appreciation, the next all-time high or whatever, you know, next cycle of Bitcoin, right? That's basically the strategy, I would say, for a typical home residential miner. But as of recording right now, this S19 is blaringly loud and people can hear it upstairs. So, you know, as a residential miner, I've explained it in other ASIC miner videos before that Bitcoin mining at home, it has a lot of pros, but also has a lot of cons, you know, the noise, you know, the types of fans that these things use. And of course, you can't forget the power requirements that is required for something like this. I showed you guys at my PDU, right? This thing takes about 3,100 watts, and it's a lot of power, but you got to make sure you have the power infrastructure to run something like this. And yeah, you got to be safe about that. Make sure you have it all set up. You get an electrician to come in, make sure you have the capacity, power capacity to be able to run this kind of stuff, right? I believe this is the most efficient Bitcoin miner on the market as of right now. So looking at ASIC miner value, yeah, it looks like the S19 XP is at the top of the charts here. I don't see any other let's see, SHA-256 ASIC miner here. So yeah, it looks like the S19 XP is the most efficient, dependent on your electrical costs, of course, right? Relative to what your electrical cost is. Because like I showed you guys, like, you know, imagine if you had, you know, a lot of mining farms out there could have 4 cents per kilowatt hour. And then an S19 could then be making about $8.34. Okay, sorry, maybe it's the S19 Pro Hydro that could be the most efficient. But wow, this thing pulls about 5,445 watts. Wow, at 908 terahash. Woo, man, this, you could, I don't know, you could not run this at home. Wow, 5,400. Well, maybe you can actually run it on a single 30 amp, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd advise that. But anyways, guys, yeah, that's the profitability. Okay, again, though, disclaimer, it changes all the time. Bitcoin network hash rate seems to be going down generally, but depending on when you watch this video, it could go a lot more up, dependent on if the Bitcoin price starts to go up. So, all right, guys, that's it. I think that's it for this video. I've confirmed it does mine 141 terahash of what they advertise on the box. It has 142 right now. Obviously, that fluctuates a bit. Shows 146 on Antpool. And yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts of this Antminer S19 XP. I think it's pretty good. Obviously, it's the most, you know, efficient model, or one of the most efficient models, along with the Hydro. But one thing I forgot to touch on, you know, with the market conditions that we are in right now, it may be one of the best times to get into Bitcoin mining, because the prices of these Bitmain S19 XPs or any other, you know, Bitmain, look at this, S19J Pro on Crypto Miner Bros is $3,400. This is coming back down to before the bull run of 2021. So I know during the bull run of 2021, these Antminer S19J Pro 104 terahash models were selling for up towards $15,000. So here we are today, right? You know, $6,700 for this S19 XP. Who knows if the market could go up, you know, in the next, who knows? I'm not quite sure. I'm just speculating. If it does go up in the next year or in the next couple of years, then you're probably going to see, you know, these models probably go upwards of $10,000, $15,000. Dependent, though, if there's going to be new, more efficient ASIC miners coming out. We don't know. I'm not quite sure. You're going to have to do your own research on that. As time goes on, you know, that type of thing happens with the, you know, the market cycles, and, you know, more efficient miners always come out, and profitability and all that kind of stuff changes all the time, depending on the market conditions, of course. All right, my friends, that's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts of the S19 XP, and if you plan on getting one or you don't plan on getting one, tell me the reasons why or why not. And if there's anything else you guys want me to test, let me know down below. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, and peace out.